All right, what's up, guys? We have a special guest today. You all know our CEO, Josh Zwagil, and I'm going to hand this over to him in a minute. But first, I just want to express how grateful and appreciative we all are of the hard work he's put in to develop our MDC 2.0. We are so excited with this new system. I know myself, I've noticed a difference in my business in the last few months having this, and it's hard to believe it's been a few months, first of all. Time is flying by, but he's dedicated a lot of time to develop this amazing tech that he said nobody else in the MLM industry has this except us. And so I'm just excited about this. Even though he is still perfecting our system, he's still busy working on this. He took the time today to jump on here, and he's going to teach us a little bit about a system he has. I know I loved seeing all the customer acquisition bonuses paid this week, last week, the week before, the last few months. I know some of you are on top of the leaderboard and you're seeing huge checks. Who here is excited about those huge weekly checks that are now coming through? Everybody is, right? And the customer mastery bonus is excellent. I see so many of you here that qualified for that. Who here wants Josh to make that permanent? Yes, I think it'd be a great idea. So just putting my vote in, Josh. Formulating a system website comp plan that concentrates mostly on bringing in customers is extremely important for us. I know a lot of leaders were very excited to see Josh make those changes, and customer retention is our #1 goal. Customers are building a solid foundation for our business. So I wanted to get started here. I don't want to delay, but Josh, on behalf of all of us, thank you for everything you've done, all of your hard work, always looking out for us. You're always finding ways to give us the biggest chance at success. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to you. We are all excited to hear what you have to say.
Awesome. Well, hey, Barb, can you hear me okay? Can you see me? Mm-hmm. Well, hey, thanks for the amazing intro and all the kind words. And you know what? I was just, as you were introducing me, I was thinking, I don't think I've ever done a call for your team before. Maybe I've done maybe one, and which is crazy to think, but I'm really excited to be here. And hopefully if I do a good job, you'll invite me back for future calls. But yeah, I've got a couple things I want to share with you guys today on this call. And first, let me start off by saying that the things I'm going to share with you on today's call are not things that I just made up in order to say, hey, you guys need to go sell more, do more. These are things that I've done myself as a distributor in the field. And so prior to My Daily Choice, for those of you who know my story, you've probably heard this before. Some of you may not. So let me just share this. Prior to My Daily Choice, I was a distributor in the field, just like you guys. And I got into network marketing in 2009. And strangely enough, the product that got me into network marketing was this product right here. And so in 2009, I got into network marketing, and gas prices were $5 a gallon. I started using this product, got amazing results in my own vehicle, and started sharing it with other people. And with just this one product, not 800 SKUs, no system, no amazing comp plan, I built an organization of 50,000 people in 40 countries with this product, did 100 million plus in sales, had an amazing business in that company. Now, had I have had an MDC, I probably would have done a lot better in that company because there were a lot of things on the business side that we didn't have. But the one thing that we did have was an amazing product that worked every time. And so that's what really, fueled our business. But I learned network marketing the old school way. I had some amazing mentors in that company. Some of my uplines were, some that they learned from some of the greats in the industry. And so I put, all of the things I learned to work in that company. And a lot of it was just simple skill sets, simple strategies, and things that, created a lot of duplication in my organization. So I say all of that to say, I know what position you guys are in. I know what it's like to be in the field. I know what it's like to build a team. I know what it's like to have to build duplication, how to keep a team excited, how to keep a team engaged, and everything that we go through as leaders to try to grow our business, create retention in our business. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that on this call. And so I am going to be doing a training series, which will be available in the My Daily Choice back office. I think it's going to start next week, and it's going to be going into more depth on some of these topics. But really, there's 3 things that you need to be successful in this industry. And if you're taking notes, this would be a good time to take notes. There's 3 things. Number 1 is mentality. You have to have the right mentality in this business. I used to call it mindset, but I'm not going to call it mindset anymore, because when you set your mind can get unset. It's really a mentality. It's like a way of being. It's a way of thinking. Number 2 is skill set. There are certain skills that you need to have in this business. And number 3 is strategy. You have to have a strategy in order to build an organization. So number 1 is mentality, number 2 is skill set, and number 3 is strategy. Now on this call, we're going to cover a little bit about mentality, and we'll cover strategy. On the training series that I'm going to be doing, it's going to be more skill set as well, because there's a lot to cover in skill set, like how to do a 3-way call, how to prospect, how to invite, how to get people to a presentation, how to edify your upline. These are all skills that you need to have in order to master network marketing. But for the sake of this call, 2 of the most important things you need are mentality and strategy, which we'll cover. So first, let's talk about mentality. And I think this is the most important, because I feel like 80% of this industry is mentality, and then the other 20% is in the skill set and the strategy. But it's like, if you don't have the mentality, it doesn't matter how skillful you are. Like, for instance, I've had people come into my business that have had great skills. They could be the best presenter. They know how to do all the skills, but if their mentality isn't good, they may not be in the business for a long time. Likewise, I've had people that have had, a great mentality and a great skill set, but they don't have the right strategy. And so their business isn't duplicating and growing. So all 3 are important, but mentality, I feel, is like one of the most important things, because if people have the wrong mentality, likely they're not going to last in this industry. And so the first thing with mentality that I think is really important to understand is that your success is entirely up to you. Okay. Nobody else. It's not the company. It's not just having a hot product. It's not your upline. It's not your sideline. It's not your circumstances. Like, it's entirely up to you. And this is a hard one to realize, because, and I'll give you an example. The first year in network marketing for me, like, I thought it wasn't up to me. I thought it was everybody else's fault. Like, I was one of those people that I was having success, but then something would happen in the first year, and I would say, well, that's the reason why I'm not successful, or that's the reason why my business is slowing down, or that's the reason, why it's not working out. And so my mentor I used to call my upline and always complain, because I'm like, hey, like, my business isn't growing because of this and because of this and because of this. And he used to always tell me that responsibility is the price of greatness. And I was like, I almost got tired of hearing that. And, it's like, it's really interesting, because as human beings, we tend to blame things, right? We blame genetics, we blame our economic circumstances. We get into a blame game of the products, the company, and all these things. But really, if you look at the top 1% of income earners in this industry, they crush it in every deal they're in. It doesn't matter what company they go to, they're successful in mostly every company, because it's not about the company. It's not about the products. They have mastered mentality, skill set, and strategy. That's why it doesn't matter if they're in skincare, in weight loss, in crypto, in trap. It doesn't matter what they're in. They're able to find a way to be successful in every company that they're in. And taking that responsibility is really important. And so just know, if you don't learn anything else on this webinar, that everything starts with you. And what I love, that's one of the things I love about network marketing is, you're in the driver's seat, you're in control. And if you compare it to like working a job, you're really not in control in a job, because at any point in time you could get fired, right? Like your boss could call you and say, hey, COVID's been really tough. I'm sorry, but you're getting furloughed, or we're laying you off, or you're fired, or, and there really isn't a lot of security there. And so it's funny because people compare network marketing all the time to like working a job. And people say, oh, network marketing is super risky, but nobody can fire you. I mean, the only person who can fire you is you. Like if you quit, then yeah, you fire yourself. But nobody can fire you. Your boss, your upline's not your boss. Your upline can't call you and say, hey, you're done, you're out of the company. It doesn't work that way. So that means that you can really write your own paycheck in network marketing. You're in the driver's seat, you're in control. And so just know that your business and the success of your business is entirely up to you. The next thing, number 2, to understand is you have to let go of employee thinking. This is a really important one, because really our whole lives we've been conditioned to think like employees. And a lot of times we revert back to that old thinking, and it started out like, with our parents, and not to knock my parents, but that's like what we were taught growing up, which was like, go to school, get good grades, get a job, get a safe job, and just be in line. Like, don't rock the boat. Just, keep it solid, get a solid paycheck. And that's what we were taught. And so, when you have that type of thinking your whole life, you don't think like an entrepreneur, because entrepreneurs thinking like way different. Entrepreneurs make huge sacrifices. They take huge risks. They put everything on the line. They really dig deep to achieve their dreams and all of their goals. And so this was something that, I had to learn, because I didn't have any business experience. I used to joke, I said I had no business being in business. I said that all the time in my first company. But I was 18, I was like a poor college student, and I only had a couple part-time jobs. And so now it's like I have my own business, and you have to let go of employee thinking. You have to start treating this like a real business. So imagine, you start like a franchise or a traditional business. There's a certain level of thinking that's going to make you successful. And it's not like thinking like an employee. And I think the biggest difference is employees want to get paid for their time, right? Employees want to get paid for their time, and entrepreneurs want to get paid for their results. That's the biggest difference. And because, like when you're an employee, you're clocking in. And so there's a certain amount of time that you're getting paid for. But in network marketing, you don't get paid for your time. Doesn't matter if you work this 80 hours a week. If you're not getting results, then you're not getting paid. And so time really has nothing to do with network marketing. The only thing that matters is if you're getting results, if you're creating duplication, if you're getting customers, if you're getting affiliates, if you're getting retention. That's what you get paid for in network marketing, not how much time have you dedicated to the business. And so remember that, because the reason why a lot of people quit in network marketing is because they say, I put so much time into this. I put so much time into this and it's just not working out. But it's not about time. That is an old way of thinking. That's how employees think, not how entrepreneurs think. The next thing is becoming a product of the product. This is really important, because one of the biggest drivers in network marketing is when you use the product, you get results, and you share your story with other people. And in My Daily Choice, we're actually really fortunate because we have a lot of products. When I was with my first company, this was the only product that we had. So it was like, you had to use this product to create the story, which in some ways that was a good thing. But in My Daily Choice, there's so many products for everyone, right? You have essential oils and cosmetics, and you have the fuel treatment, and you have CBD, and you have all these different products. And so the way I view it is like, either try all of the products or pick some of the products that resonate with you, use them, and then start sharing your story with other people. That is one of the golden rules, I guess, in network marketing. Is it's very hard to sell a product if you've never used it. And I'm just going to be honest, because people are going to ask you, what did it do for you? And like with nutritional products, let's be honest, nobody gives a crap if there's omega-3s in it. They want to know what it's done for you. Like, how did it change your life? Like, what are you feeling from it? What kind of results are you getting? And that's what's going to drive other people to want to buy it from you. Can they get the same results? And so, like with this product, yes, I want to talk about organometallic chemistry. And yes, I want to talk about detergents and fuel stabilizers and, all the technical stuff. But at the end of the day, people want to know, what did it do for you when you put it in your gas tank, right? What kind of results did you get? That's the easiest way to sell products in network marketing is, you don't sell all the technical things about the product, you sell what it's done for you. And so just remember that as you're building this business is, if you're going out there telling people to buy products and you're selling them on all the technical things of it, but you've never used it yourself and you've never shared your personal product story, that's a huge mistake. Buy the product, use it yourself, get your own results, and that's the easiest thing that you can share with with your audience. Okay, the next thing is you must have massive belief and confidence in what you're doing. I think this is probably one of the biggest mistakes that I see in the industry. Is like when I see people present a product, present a business, share this business with other people, they don't have belief or confidence. They're not sold in what they're doing. And so like me, Josh Zwagil, as a networker, I can't join somebody who's not sold. I can't partner with somebody who's not sold in the business, because if they're not sold, then I'm definitely not sold. Like, I want somebody that is so confident, that has so much belief, where I'm like, man, this person's really firing me up. And I don't even know why I'm fired up. It's their energy. They really believe what they're doing. They're like, that's somebody that I want to join with. And so this is one of the hardest things to examine, because it's like, how do you know if you're, like exhibiting massive belief and confidence? The first thing is you have to really ask yourself, like, is this something that you can really get behind? Like, do you have a huge amount of belief and confidence in what you're promoting? Because if you don't, then that's what you need to work on first, is fixing your mentality, right? Because I could teach you the strategy, which I'm going to go over on this call, the 10 and 2 system and how to create duplication. But if you don't have belief in the products, the company, what you're doing, it's going to be very hard to attract people to the business. So my mentality has always been that, I'm going to go to the top of the comp plan with or without everybody. That's always been my mentality. Like, I have so much belief where it's like, hey, I'm going to the top with or without you, but I'd love to do it with you, and I've kind of gone through that with, like, when I was building an organization, I knew that not everybody was going to be there forever. I knew, some people would leave, some people would come. I always say network marketing is like a train. Some people hop on and then you ride a little, they get off at the first stop. Some people ride a couple more stops, get off at the next stop, and some people ride it all the way. And so throughout that process, sometimes as people are getting off the train, it can hurt your belief a little bit and it hurts your confidence a little bit. But I was never like that. I was taught, hey, no matter what, you have to have massive belief and confidence. No matter what's going on in your business, no matter what's going on in the company, you need to operate that way, because you're going to attract the most people into your team. So that's definitely really important to keep in mind. Next one is you need to become tough. Entrepreneurship is not for the weak. It's really not. It's like, I think this is one of the reasons why people struggle in network marketing, is because they think it's easy. Especially if you see other people doing it, and they're having a lot of success, and then you try it and something happens, and it's not working out, you start to beat yourself up. You just have to realize that, you need to be tough. And what goes into being tough is you need to treat this business, and this is a good one to write down, treat it like a marathon. You have to think of this business like a marathon and not like a sprint. And for 6 years, my first 6 years in network marketing, I probably heard this every day, and I started to get sick of it. It was like my upline, the leaders, treat it like a marathon, not like a sprint. And I'm like, why are they all saying this? But you know what? It makes sense, because the people that stay in network, if they stay in a company for a long enough period of time and they're consistent, they always get results. It's almost impossible to be in a network marketing company for a long time and do the right activities consistently and not get results. It's almost impossible. Only when you're not consistent and you quit too early is when you don't get results. And so you have to treat it like a marathon. And the way my mentor explained it to me is the way it works. It's like this: you work, and then you get a small check. This is how it works early on in network marketing. It's like work. Boom, you get a check. And it's like, man, I did all that work and I got this like measly check. And then it's like you keep going, and then it's like work. And it's like check. And it's like, got like 2 checks now. And then it's like work, check. And then it's like work, check. And then work, check. And then like before you know it, once you have enough duplication in your organization, it's like check, work, check, work, And so the point is you have to be willing to be heavily underpaid for a period of time while you're doing a lot of work. And then eventually, as you have enough duplication in your organization, that's where you get the big checks. That's where you're like, like a Barb Miller or like a super affiliate. And that's where you have a team growing underneath you, and you're creating duplication, and you have multiple legs of leaders that are getting paid, but it takes time, right? And you can't get to all those checks without the work. And so having that marathon mentality puts you in the right frame of mind to know that you can get all those checks, but you got to do the work to get there. Another really important thing is positivity goes down. I was taught this, like my upline, like some of you, may think you have a bad upline, or maybe in your career you thought you had a bad upline in network marketing. I thought I had several bad uplines. I'm like, man, these guys are like assholes. I can't believe I joined, their team. But, like they would not let me be negative at all. And I didn't know a lot about network marketing. I didn't know all the ins and outs. I didn't know all the tricks. I didn't know, and so anytime that I started to waver away from positivity, like my uplines would ring me out, and they're like, no, you can't, like, you're going to ruin your whole organization. And so positivity goes down. That's what I was always taught, is never take anything negative to your downline ever. It doesn't matter what it is. Never take anything negative to your downline. And the reason why is because you lose your position as a leader once you start being negative to your team, right? Like you have a responsibility to your team. You're the leader. People are following you. It's follow the leader. And if you're negative, then guess what? Now I'm negative. If I'm in your team and you're negative, I'm negative. If you're bashing, whatever it is, if you're bashing, somebody in your team, like even like, it's not even just about company stuff. It could be like gossiping, like if you're bashing somebody in the team, now I'm bashing that person in the team, and I'm bashing everybody. And so it has it can really spiral out of control. And so it's really important to always put yourself in check. And so one question that my mentor asked me to ask myself was, are the conversations that you're having in your team, number one, are they building belief or are they destroying belief? That was the question I had to ask myself, because, the first year in the company when I was a distributor, I was extremely negative because my first upline got terminated. The company had challenges. I just gave up my, college education to do network marketing. I had leaders leaving, and I'm like, I'm negative, and he said, are the conversations you're having building belief or destroying belief? And I was like, damn, they're destroying belief. And so I started to switch my conversations to building belief. Every conversation I had, building belief, building belief, building belief. Second year, I did better. Third year, I did better. I stayed in that company for 6 years and built a massive group. And so that's a great question to ask yourself if you were in the situation that I was in. Last thing I'm going to talk about, and then we'll go into 10 and 2, is you have to talk to a lot of people in this business. You have to talk to a lot of people. And one thing that I've realized about network marketing is when people look at their success that they're having, there's usually a direct correlation to the number of people that they're talking to on a daily basis. It's really crazy. So like, let's say somebody is stuck at a rank. Look at the number of people they're talking to every day. What could be 5 people? It could be 3 people. It could be 8 people, 10 people, whatever that number is. What happens if you double that number? Right? So if somebody's stuck at a rank and they're talking to 8 people, what happens if they're now talking to 16 people a day? Right? They just doubled the number of people they're talking to. What happens if they triple it? What if they're now talking to, let's just say, 32 people a day? What happens if they get to 100 people a day? What if they 10x the number of people that they're talking to? It can have a dramatic effect on your business. And so I realized this early on where I just wasn't talking to enough people because I was really comfortable doing about 8 to 10 calls a day. That's where my comfort level was. And my upline told me, like, Josh, you got to think way bigger. 8 to 10, like, that's not enough. You need to talk to way more people. And so I got to a point, it was around my second or third year in the company, where I started talking to 100 people a day. 100 people a day. Now, some of those people were people in my team, and some of them were prospects. But I made it a point to hit 100 people a day. And whether that was, those are not all long conversations. Some of them were shorter conversations, but I made that my goal. Can I get to 100 people a day? And it had a dramatic effect on my business because all of those conversations add up. They all add up. And especially if you're prospecting, because if you're prospecting, it's like 30% of your people are going to say no. 30% may say maybe, 30% will take a look, and 10% will join. So that's the math. And so if you're talking to 100 a day for prospecting, maybe you're going to get 8 to 10 to join your business. But the problem is most people are only talking to 5 to 10 people. And so if you're talking to 5 to 10 people, 0 to 1 join, right? If you're prospecting. And so just keep that in mind, that the people who talk to the most people make the most money in this industry. It's a really fundamental, like, basic thing in network marketing, but I can't believe how many people forget that, right? Where you got to talk to a ton of people in this industry. And so I know we've got some big leaders on this webinar, and I know, some of you may be newer, but it's like, if you're a leader and let's say you have 200 affiliates in your team, make it a point to talk to all of them in the next 2 to 3 days. Right? Talk to all of them in the next 2 to 3 days. Now, if you're Barb, it may take you, like 4 weeks, or 5 weeks or something like that. But if you have a couple hundred, try to have a conversation with all of them in the next, 2 to 3 days and see what happens in your business. And that conversation could just be, hey, I'm Josh, I'm your upline checking in. Is there anything I can do for you to help you grow your business? If it's a prospect, then it's all about exposures, getting them to take a look at the opportunity presentation, getting them to take a look at the website. But you have to start looking at your conversations. How many are you having per day? So if you're upset about your income, your rank, your growth, have more conversations daily. So that's a little bit about mindset, mentality. There's a lot that I could go through with mentality. I'm going to do a whole training series on it, but I wanted to give, that was about 30 minutes of mentality. And so I'll now tell you a little bit about 10 and 2. So once you have the right mentality, and I think we covered some pretty good topics for mentality, you want to start looking at your strategy. What's your strategy for building your team? And I feel like this is probably one of the most important conversations in my daily choice right now, because as a company, there's a lot of leaders training different things, right? Like everybody has a different system, everybody has a different training thing. And I believe like universally, this is the best and most effective way to build your group. And let me just say this, by show of hands, and be honest, because I can see everybody's faces. By show of hands, how many of you are confused as to what to train a new person? Okay, I see a lot of hands, right? And so that's the problem, right? That's the problem, is when a new person joins your team, and especially if you have a larger team under you, you have to know how to launch that person, right? You have to know how to help the brand new person in your team get success. If you don't know that, then creating duplication is going to be very challenging, because it's like I join your team and it's like, hey, what do I do next? I'm sure you've got that. I'm sure you've had that question before. What do I do next? And you're like, well, I don't know. So figure it out. You can go promote your website, you know, and that doesn't work, right? You have to be able to give them a blueprint for success. And so first things first is if you're brand new, this may not fully apply yet, because there are a couple steps before 10 and 2 system. Like for instance, step 1 is to build your list. You know, like if you're just joining, you know, Barb's organization and you know, this is like day 1 for you. And even if you've been in the business for a long time and you want to relaunch your business, you could still do this as well, but you have to build your list first. And one thing that's really cool about list building, and I've said this before, is don't prejudge anybody as you're building your list, and make it a goal to put 100 people on the list. Now, these could be contacts from your phone. It could be people from social media. It could be like coworkers, colleagues, best friends, family members. You know, put as many people as possible on the list. Aim for 100. Don't prejudge anyone. Like, don't say, and let me explain what prejudge means just real quick. Don't say like, oh, Barb's too successful, she's made too much money, so she's not going to be interested. Or Aaron's a doctor, he's not going to need network marketing, he's already whatever, you know, and I'm not going to talk to him. Don't do that. Put everybody on and let them make their own decisions. And one thing about successful people is successful people love to make more money. And so it's funny that most network marketers don't put successful people on their list. They only recruit down. They only go after their broke friends. They don't go after successful people, because they don't think successful people need network marketing. But trust me, successful people are looking for other ways to generate residual income, especially right now in the economy that we're in. So you build your list, number 1, and then number 2 is you want to schedule your grand opening. And this is also kind of an interesting concept, is that when you start a traditional business, you have a grand opening, right? Like if you start, like let's say you started a retail store, right? You opened up a retail store, you would probably have a grand opening. You would schedule it, you'd make flyers, you'd announce it on social media, you would invite your neighborhood, you know, and they would all show up. You'd have balloons, you'd have products on display, you'd have a grand opening for your business. But in network marketing, most people never have a grand opening. How come? How come people in network marketing don't have a grand opening, but people in traditional business have a grand opening? Network marketing is no different. Whether your grand opening is a Facebook Live, it could just be as simple as a Facebook Live and you're unboxing product, talking about the products, talking about, you know, how excited you are to start your business, where people can go to get started, or it's a Zoom webinar, a Zoom presentation, a live stream, whatever it is. you need to have a grand opening for your business as well, which is also a really good way to relaunch your business. If you haven't, like, raise your hand if you've never done a Facebook Live yet about MDC. Okay, I see 2 hands, 3 hands, 4 hands, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, I see 9 hands. Hopefully all of you are being honest. But okay, so 9 hands. That's 9 people here that have never had a grand opening yet. And so just imagine what that could do for your business. You have your list, you have your grand opening, you invite your list to your grand opening, talk about the products, talk about why you're excited. That can help you really jumpstart your business. Now let's go into the 10 and 2 system, because now this is strategy. This is the best, in my opinion, this is the best way to build your My Daily Choice business. Now, this is not all network marketing companies, because every company has a different compensation plan. Every company has a different strategy. This is how to build My Daily Choice. And I call it the 10 and 2 system. And so there's some golden rules that you need to know first. And these are like I used to play chess when I was younger, and I was really good. And I had a chess coach, and he used to always make me sit on my hands when I played. I wasn't allowed to move the pieces with my hands. And I always used to say, why can't I move the pieces? And he would say, because you need to understand the rules first. Once you understand the rules, then I'll let you move the pieces. And so I was like, whatever. And but in network marketing, it's kind of the same way. I feel like there are some golden rules, and before you play the game, you need to know the rules. And so here's what I think those rules are. Number 1 is 80% of people want to make $500 to $1,000 per month. That's like rule number 1, is the majority of people in your organization are looking to make $500 to $1,000 per month. Did you know that there's 750,000 Uber drivers that are there to make $80 to $360 a month? 750,000 Uber drivers, they've joined Uber to make an extra $300 a month. That's crazy. So you have to realize that the masses, the majority of people, that's what they're here for. They're looking to make $500 to $1,000 per month. Because if your messaging is not towards those 80%, then you're going to struggle with getting the majority of people in your organization to create duplication. The second one is the 15%. So 80%, 500 to 1,000 a month. 15% want to make 500 to 1,000 per week. Okay, so now that's 15%. So out of 100 people, 80 are looking to make 500 to 1,000 per month. 15 are looking to make 500 to 1,000 per week, and 5% are looking to make 500 to 1,000 per day. And if you're Barb, you're looking to make a lot more. Okay, so those are the rules where 80% 500 to 1,000 per month, 15% 500 to 1,000 per week, 5% 500 to 1,000 per day. There's another golden rule, which is there's 3 things that you need to do with your organization. The first thing is you have to get your people to the first rank, where in our case, the first rank is 1K affiliate, which is basically 1,000 points in volume. The second thing is you want to get them paid, because if you look at like Direct Sales Association, you look at the statistics, if somebody joins network marketing and they quickly get a paycheck, they're in the business for way longer. If somebody goes a long time without getting a paycheck, chances are they're going to quit in network marketing. So you want to make sure you're getting people to the first rank. Now, what also happens is when you get them to the first rank, they get praise and recognition. So when you get them to the first rank, they get praise and recognition, you're getting them paid. And then the third thing is you want to get them into profit. Now, fortunately, in My Daily Choice, it's much easier for them to get in profit because they could join for free. And we don't require affiliates to purchase a ton of product in order to get paid. Now, like in mentality, we talk about becoming a product of the product. So you definitely want people to purchase product, because how can they sell the products if they don't have a personal story? So definitely encourage people to purchase product, to try the house of brands out. Even just having product on display, all of that is super important. But those are the three like key things: is getting everyone in your team to the first rank, getting them paid, and getting them into profit. And so what is 10 and 2? How does that work? 10 and 2 means when you're brand new in the business, your target is to get 10 personal customers and 2 affiliates. 10 customers, 2 affiliates. And the reason why it's 2 affiliates is because there's industry statistics out there that people don't sponsor more than 2 affiliates right out when they're brand new. When they're brand new in the business, they don't usually get more than 2. Now, some will, okay? And let me just preface this by saying this is a minimum, okay? This is like, you don't want to stop people when they get 10 and 2, okay? If somebody can go get 1,000 customers personally, or they can get 100 affiliates personally, by all means, keep them recruiting, keep them going. This is just like a minimum, a basics, a fundamental, like a starting point, something for you to train to everybody, 10 and 2. And if you haven't done this yourself personally, this is a really good place to start. 10 personal customers and 2 affiliates. Now, what you want to do is you want to target a 100-point order. Okay, so that could be like if you're promoting FFX, that could be the FFX executive package, which is actually that one's like 90 points, or it's close to 100 points. It could be that one plus another product. It could be the HempWorks, like 4-pack of tinctures. That one's 100 points. So you want to target a 100-point order. And here's the thing about customers. When you're looking for customers, it's a much easier conversation because it's not about building a team. It's not about just making money, quitting your job, starting a career. It's like, who do you know that wants to save money on gas? Who do you know that wants to lose weight? Who do you know that wants to look better? Who do you know that uses skincare products? Who do you know is looking to detox? Who do you know that needs more sleep? Who do you know that needs more energy? These are all questions that you can ask when you're doing your list building, and questions that you can ask your team as well. Who do you know is like a great game to play with your organization for looking for customers? Okay, so 10 customers, 2 affiliates, 100 BV order. Now, here's what happens when you get your 10 and 2. That's 1,200 BV total, right? 12 times 100. Now, 1,000 of that is going to be PECV, personally enrolled customer volume, because you got 10 customers. And the way that our compensation plan is structured right now is that person that got those 10 customers is going to be an executive, because you only need 180 in PECV to be an executive. You could also have 90 PV as well. And so you're going to get $400 in commissions from the PECV, okay, in the customer acquisition bonus. You're also going to get $80 in Jumpstart from the 2 affiliates. So your 2 affiliates, you made 80, you made 400 from the 10 customers. So right there, you're really close to 500, right? You're at 480. But the other thing that happens is you hit the first rank of 1K in the company, because it's only 1,000 points that's needed to hit 1K. So now you get a $100 rank bonus as well. So the $100 rank bonus now puts you at 580. Okay, now let me just repeat it for some of you. You got 10 customers, 2 affiliates, 1,200 points. You earn $400 from customers. You earn 80 from your affiliates. You hit the first rank of 1K, so you got an extra $100. Now, the other thing that's going to happen is you're going to get 3 shares in the global bonus pool, because every time you get 4 people, you get 1 share, as long as they have a 40-point order. So now you got 3 shares in the global bonus pool. And last month, the shares were like $61 each. And so now that's another $180 right there. So now if you did 10 and 2 at 100 BV order, you just made $760. $760 for finding 12 people. Now, in most network marketing companies, it's really hard to get to 760 your first month for introducing 12 people to the business, especially because 10 of those are customers. And so my suggestion would be, if for the people at the beginning that raised their hand that said they didn't know what to train to their team, that's what you should train. Don't train anything else. Train that. There's a lot of training in network marketing, but when it comes to your My Daily Choice business, you have to train what duplicates, and you have to train what's going to put money in their pocket quickly, get them to the first rank, get them in profit. Those 3 rules you achieve by helping them get 12, 10, and 2. Now, for the leaders on the line, here's what happens. Like, if you have a big organization already, here's what happens when you duplicate that, because it doesn't stop at 10 and 2. Once you get 10 and 2, then you teach your 2 to get 10 and 2, right? You teach your 2 affiliates to do the same thing. And what you want to do is duplicate that through your whole organization. And so level 1, when you do that, which is your personals, you have 1,200 points, and you got 10 customers, and you got 2 affiliates. Now, by a show of hands, let me ask this. How many of you want to know what happens if you were to duplicate that through 10 levels? Okay, here's what happens if you duplicate 10 and 2 through 10 levels. So level 2 is when you teach your 2 to do the same thing. So now you have 20 new customers, 4 new affiliates. You've done 2,400 in volume on level 2. Okay, then you take those 4, teach them the same thing. Now you have 4,800 in volume on level 3. You have 40 customers, and you have 8 new affiliates. Okay, on level 3, you teach those 8 to do the same thing. Now you have 9,600 in new volume on level 4. You have 80 new customers, and you have 16 new affiliates on level 4. Teach those 16 to do the same thing. And by the way, I will post all of this to Barb so that she can put it in her group with all the numbers. So you can see level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to level 10. Level 5, you have 19,200 in new volume, 160 customers, 32 affiliates. Level 6, you have 38,400 in volume, 320 customers, 64 affiliates. Level 7, you'll have 76,800 in volume, 640 customers, 128 affiliates. So then level 8, 9, and 10 is where it gets really crazy in duplication, because now you have a lot more people that are duplicating it. So level 8, you have 153,600 in new volume, 1,280 customers, 256 affiliates. You duplicate it again, you have 307,200 new volume, 2,560 customers, 512 affiliates. And then finally on level 10, you have 614,000 in volume, 5,120 customers, 1,024 affiliates. So in total, by duplicating 10 and 2 through 10 levels, you've done 1,227,600 in total business volume. You have 10,230 customers and 2,046 affiliates. Just by doing 10 and 2, nothing else, putting $760 in everybody's pocket. Now, there's no find 4 to find 4 to find 4, find 8, none of that. Just 10 customers, 2 affiliates, 760 in everybody's pocket. And you can through 10 levels, you'd be the top rank in My Daily Choice. You'd be a super affiliate. And so that's a big number, right? 1.2 million in volume. So let's say, because it's not a perfect world, not everybody duplicates, not 100% of people are going to do 10 and 2. Let's say 50% of them do it, right? Let's say 50% do it. What's that? 600,000 in volume, 5,000 customers, 1,000 affiliates. Let's say you did this really, like you went like gangbusters on this, but you know, only 10% did it. Like you failed at 90% of it, but 10% did it. What's that? 120,000 in volume, 1,000 new customers, a couple hundred new affiliates. But the point is it doesn't duplicate if you don't train it relentlessly, right? Like you have to go to every person and train this. It will never duplicate if people don't know about it. You have to teach 10 and 2 because like the health of your organization is going to be unlike anything else in network marketing, because remember 80% of people are here for 500 to 1,000 per month. They can earn that by getting 10 and 2. But most people in network marketing, they try to find 4 affiliates, they get 2, they stop there, they're not at 500 to 1,000 per month, and then they're out the door. So introducing the conversation of getting 10 customers is a really key, it's like a really key point in creating the duplication, because you're getting them a quick paycheck, and then it's creating, you know, it's creating volume in your organization, it's creating rank ups in your organization, and this allows you to become like a 1K, like a rank factory. You need to become a factory of just producing 1K ranks, 1K, 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 1K. That's going to lead to 5Ks, 10Ks, 25Ks, 50Ks. And I believe that's the best way to create duplication in my daily choice is 10 and 2. Obviously have the right mentality, build your list, schedule a grand opening, become a product of the product, get out there, share the products, keep things simple as well. Try not to reinvent the wheel. You know, take people into the My Daily Choice website, use the systems and tools. Those are all the things that I think are going to make or break the difference in your success. So I know I went a little long there, Barb, but hopefully that was what you're looking for. And can't wait to come back and do another training for your group.
That was amazing. I think everybody here is, I see the chat going crazy. Everybody loves this. And exactly, I saw somebody say like, I had my why, and now this gives me like how to do it. And so I think we're all super excited about this. I'm excited about spending the next 5 weeks messaging people. So everybody here will get a message from me at some point, and I'll work my way through the list. But that's excellent. I think it's really good. I like the idea of talking to 100 prospects and team members every day, because it's true. You got to get in front of people, and the mentality, everything is just amazing. I think I'm going to watch this again a couple of times. Probably everybody will. It was just so much information. I'm excited about the 10 and 2. I think everybody here can do this, and duplication is the key. And I'm just, guys, who's excited about this? All of us, right? Are we ready? I think so. And so I'm excited about the series you have coming up, Josh, and going into more depth about all this great information. It's a lot to take in, but I'm ready to start going through this. Are you guys ready to do your 10 and 2? Because even if you're not new, you can still do it. We can all do it. And I think it's great. And thank you so much. Like, it's amazing. And Josh he's right on the ball. He just already sent me all these numbers. So I will get those into the group and work on getting this information for all of us, so it's in one place and we have it. And I see amazing things happening with the combination of the 2.0 system, the new website, all the tools we have, the new customer acquisition bonus, customer mastery, all this stuff. And now we have the roadmap to how to get it done. So thank you so much, Josh. You put a lot of time into this today. And of course, we would love to have you back anytime. And we look forward to your series that will be starting soon.
Sounds good. Thank you, Barb. And I just posted it in this chat as well for you guys if you want to. I'm a big numbers person, so I love looking at the numbers in order to get me, you know, excited and pumped up. So I posted it in here and I sent it to you as well, Barb. But thank you again for having me. It was a great time to get to chat with you guys, and I look forward to being back.
Awesome. Thank you. See everybody. Thanks for hopping on.